Shane Dowling, delighted to speak to you again on Off the Ball. Great Limerick man. And Shane, it's a strange time for everybody. We had the Club Players Association bring out a survey during the week about 3,000 players, and 57% said they'd play or they'd train during this year. But over 20% said they wouldn't, and 20% said they were unsure. What's the kind of feeling from yourself about returning to play hurling and contact sport without a vaccine?
Well, I suppose, listen, John, from my own point of view, once I can get back hurling sometime this year with my own injury, I'd be delighted. But obviously, if it's only safe to do so. I suppose what's my own take on it is, there's some people I can't understand, and there's some people that I can. I thought John Horan was exceptional in the Sunday game and Sunday night. I thought he spoke exceptionally well. And to my mind, what I've seen, I think he's the best. He's definitely been the best person that I've heard speak about it in terms of his views on it. I thought people going on about playing games behind closed doors, I can't quite understand it. And I thought John hit the nail on the head. If it's safe for the players to play, then it's safe for people to attend the games. Yeah. I read one particular interview there last week. Can't remember who said it, but they were going on about social distancing, having players going into dressing rooms 4 at a time, having 4 in, 4 out, going to matches in 2s rather than 4s. We're queuing up in supermarkets so we could queue to go into dressing rooms. But then goes on to say, but go out and play a match afterwards. I couldn't get my head around it. How could you go about social distancing in dressing rooms, but 10 minutes later go down to a pitch and be hanging off each other? So I don't get all this, social distancing, going to matches, dressing rooms, behind closed doors, but having the players to play. If it's safe for the players to play, it needs to be safe to have a crowd together.
So you would be a little bit wary then, Shane, without a vaccine or with social distancing measures in place, to be getting into a dressing room with other players, not knowing, even if somebody has the coronavirus and is not even showing symptoms?
I'm not saying I'd be wary unless there's a vaccine. I would be wary until Tony Holohan or the hierarchy up there come out and say it's safe for a congregation of people of 100, 500, 1,000 to come together and they don't have to social distance. If Tony Holohan comes out and says that we have to social distance until there is a vaccine, I don't see any other way around it but not play. That's just, why would GAA players be any different to anybody else in the country? We still have to go home to our houses. I know I was talking to one particular club player the other day who's got a parent at home with an underlying condition, and they certainly won't play until it's safe to do so. And if it's not safe to do so, they won't play. I don't get the big rigmarole around it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not like the Premier League where they can put them into a bubble for a month and there's the money there to pay them for testing and all these rigorous things to service broadcast deals. The GAA is an amateur organisation. You're going straight back in to your families, your community. It's very hard to regulate that.
Absolutely. And as John said on Sunday night, if one person was to pass because of a bad decision by the GAA, that would be one person too many. And they're just the facts of it. And listen, as I said, if social distancing stays for everybody and everybody has social distance until there's a vaccine, then I don't even think there's an argument, to be honest. But if he did come out and say that a group of 500 people, 100 people could congregate together and they didn't have to worry about social distancing, well, then it's a whole new ballgame. But until then, I don't even see what the argument is about.
Yeah, that's well put. So if they said it was okay for, say, 100 people to gather and it was behind closed doors, would you be in favour of inter-county matches being played behind closed doors? Is it really against, though, maybe the whole fabric and ethos of what the association is about, which is having your volunteers at games and having crowds there?
And that's a good point, because if he did say that 100 people could congregate without social distancing, now you have that argument. But I thought Shane McGrath's article yesterday was brilliant as well. I don't know if you saw it, where he basically said it goes against everything that the GAA is about in terms of the crowds are such a massive part of the matches. It would be a very eerie feeling. Then you've to ask the question, are they playing the championship just for the sake of it, or are they playing it because everybody wants to play it? And that's the question I'd ask. I saw another particular interview where someone said, that there's a big financial benefit to be got out of playing these games. Forget about the financial benefit. Worry about the safety. You know what I mean? So I don't know is the answer to that question. I think it'd be a very eerie feeling. It'd be like playing a challenge match, and I'd have to question what it would be like. The other side of it too is that, we're missing it so much. Is it just a case of you just want to go and play a hurling match? Yeah, it would be totally different, but it's something.
Just two more to finish, Shane. Opening pitches. I know that there are many reasons why pitches are closed at the moment. For example, if like people did gather, even maybe naively, as the GAA said last week, and then they were caught on social media, and then people might be accusing people of, like, we saw that with Premier League players, like training in the park and not keeping socially distant. The other thing might be insurance purposes. But do you think that pitches, like local club pitches, should be open for people?
I can't go into the insurance side because I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But again, it's a very, very tricky situation. So taking the Piercing, obviously my own club, we've got fantastic facilities. We've got 3 big pitches and a side pitch. So we nearly have 3.5 pitches. We have a huge space, and it would 100% be, we would be able to go in and puck around in fours and keep social distancing. We could have maybe 10 or 12 or 15 groups of 4 going in and pucking around, and I know it wouldn't be a problem. But you have other clubs, a lot of rural clubs, that they've just got the one pitch. It'd be very hard for them to manage that, and it can't be one rule for one rule for another. It has to be one rule across the board. So while I believe it would definitely work in the likes of the Piercing, thankfully we have good facilities, I do believe rural clubs would struggle to manage it. The other side of that is, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that aren't working. So I'm sure if they went about getting volunteers to become a steward, I suppose, or the different stewarding times at the GAA gates, I think that would work. I think it would be able to work, because unfortunately there's a lot of people out there that would have the time to do it. So again, it's a very delicate situation. You know, if you did bring it back and there was huge congregations without social distancing and something happened, everyone's going to be down the GAA's throat saying, why did they allow it? So I think they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. But it's a difficult one. It's every club's facilities are different. And, you know, people have to understand that there are some clubs who've got very, very one pitch and that's it. And, you know, if 20 or 25 or 30 lads went in there, they wouldn't social distance. So I don't know what the right answer is, but it's very difficult anyway. That's all I do know.
Finally, Shane, how are you keeping down there in Limerick? How's the business going? Are you doing much Netflixing? Are you doing much nostalgia, sport, watching? How's life for you at the moment?
Yeah, not too bad. So I'm operations manager here, and we've in Centra here in Limerick City. So we've 4 shops. We've closed 1. Thankfully, 3 are still open and somewhat busy. I suppose, you know, town for the last number of weeks has been like a ghost town. Really, there hasn't been too many people around. So we've done well to just about stay open, but it has got a bit busier. And I'd imagine from next week on, with the builders coming back, it will be obviously getting more busier as time goes on. From my own point of view, I'm still injured. I'm doing a lot of rehab. It's slow. It's tedious, but it has to be done, I suppose, from my own point of view, if I want to get back on the pitch at some stage later in the year. Don't really watch telly. I get bored watching telly. So I like doing my gardens, believe it or not. So between doing my exercises, going for cycles, and doing up my gardens, I'm busy out. So no, listen, I'm fortunate. All my family, touch wood, are safe and well. We're all working and we're all busy, and you know, I suppose long may it last.
Shane Dowling, you're a great man. Thanks for speaking to us on Off the Ball today.
No problem, John. Take care.